Hi, my name is Michael Bazushko, and I'm a librarian here at Kent Library at SEMO. And I'm going to introduce a little tool that I think is really useful if you're doing some research. Say you're writing a paper, you're doing a project, you need to go out and find some information, right? Some articles, maybe some websites, whatever it is. And how do you save that information and find it again later? So when I was an undergrad student, what I might do is I would find an article like this and I would maybe copy this article name so I could find it later. So I'd have the journal and I could look it back up at the database and find the article later. But I would maybe save this to another document. That takes some time. It would be nice if I could just save this link, but oftentimes these links, they don't get you back to the article if you've closed the browser and you've opened it up. Maybe you're somewhere else on campus, you're on another computer. These links don't always work. You need something else called an easy proxy link. And those are different in every database. So if I go over here on this database to share and say create link, this link will help me get back to this article whenever I need it. So I could copy this and put it somewhere else in a document. In this database, let's say I have another article, I could just click copy URL and it'll give me my easy proxy URL, and I can prove it's an easy proxy URL. If I go up top here, you can see what the original URL looks like. And if I paste this in, you can see it says easy proxy. So this will get me back to the article. But then again, I have to go and I have to save all of those URLs, or I have to copy and paste the names of all the articles and look them up later. And there's actually a much easier way of doing this. So I recommend using a program like Zotero. And there are other programs similar to it. This is just the one that I use. But how it works, it's quite simple. You can download a program for your computer and you can download a little connector for your browser. And I'll show you how both of these kind of work together. The program itself looks like this. You can see I've got different files. These are a bunch of articles that I've saved. And right here in the middle, you can see all those articles that I've saved. Over on the side, you see that I've got some different files. So if you have different classes, or if you have multiple projects, even in the same class, you can create files for every new project you start. So you can keep everything organized. And I've created a little pizza file here, and you can see it's empty. So let's add some of these articles to this pizza file. I'll just go to the article that I want, and up here, you can see in my extensions, I have the Zotero connector extension, and it just creates this little icon here. So you can see save to Zotero. So if I click that, I can actually save it in any folder I want, but I'm going to save it in the pizza folder. And I'll come over here and I'll save this to the pizza folder as well. And that was pretty quick, right? So let's see what it looks like now. If I come over here to my Zotero, you can see I have both of these articles in my pizza folder. Very, very quick. It saves the name of the article, saves the authors, the journal, all the information you would need, including that easy proxy URL. So very, very easy to get back to these articles. In fact, if I double click the article, it'll connect me using that easy proxy link and get me right back to the article. Very, very quick, right? Another really cool thing you can do, let's say I look at this one here. I also have my easy proxy link. If I double click it, this one actually just opens right here inside Zotero. I don't even need to go anywhere and I can read the article. And if I scroll down, I can even add things like notes. So I can say, maybe, why did I save this one again? I say this one, it's a useful information about the cheese. And now I've got a nice little note there. So as I look through all of my articles, I can say, oh yeah, that's why I saved this one. It was the cheese. So it works really well for articles, but what if you find like a website or a video you want to use? So if I find a video that I want to use, you can see that there's still a little icon right here, and I can just say save to Zotero, and I'll save it to my pizza folder. And let's say I also find just a website here. This appears to be a recipe for an incredibly good homemade pizza, and I want to save that website. So not an academic article, just a website that I found. If I go back to my Zotero, then I can see I have this cheese experiment changed the way I make pizza forever. That's the YouTube video. I can double click on it. It'll take me right to the video. And I have my article, incredibly good homemade pizza as well. So really, really cool. You can see it even shows a little detailed look at what the website should look like down here. It does the same for articles. So if I go over here, you can see that ProQuest article. I can get a sense of what it was and get a little reminder as to what I saved there. Really cool program, can save you a lot of time. You can see it would have taken a while. It would have been a little weird to save another document and write down all this information, then have to go re-find it later. And now, very, very quickly, I've got videos saved, I've got articles, I've got websites, everything I'm finding, and I can get back to them as soon as I need them. So spend not as much time finding the things and more time actually using them. Make sure you save time to make sure you get all your work done while you're here at SEMO. If you have any questions about using Zotero, or if you want other options, other different kinds of software that we might know about, there's an Ask Us button on the library website. And if you click that button, it gives you lots of ways to get in touch with librarians. And this is what we're here for, to answer questions like this. So you can come in person. There's usually one of us at the front desk. You can email us, you can call us, whatever works for you. Get in touch with a librarian if you need any help setting up Zotero or help using it, and we'll get you started. Thank you.